Hi, I'm Jessica Blank, and I am directing Good Bread Alley by April Yvette Thompson. April and I have known each other for a long time now. I first met April when I was writing a play called The Exonerated with my husband Eric Jensen. It's a documentary play that we wrote based on interviews we conducted with exonerated death row inmates. And we were both actors, and it was the first play we ever wrote, so our writing process was very actor-focused, and we workshopped the transcripts, the raw transcripts from very, very early on. We had actors involved in our writing process very closely. And April was part of the core group of actors that worked with us to workshop the piece. And I quickly learned that she is an incredible and versatile and very deep and thoughtful performer. And also she and I became good friends. And somewhere in that time, I went to a party at April's house, and I noticed after about an hour that she had been totally holding the floor for like an entire hour. Everybody at the party was completely enraptured with whatever she was talking about, whatever story she was telling. And I said to myself, okay, I know this woman is an extraordinary actor already and a great person and really has a brilliant mind, but I think also she's a solo performer. So I approached her and I said, have you ever thought about writing a solo show? Is this something you'd be interested in? She said, I've been wanting to do it forever. I've dipped my toe in a couple of times, haven't been able to crack it yet. I said, okay, I have no idea what the show is going to be about, but I know that I want to write it with you. And so she and I started getting together and using, really documentary theater technique, because that was what I was familiar with. And I started interviewing her about herself and her life and her background, and it quickly became totally apparent that April comes from an extraordinary family, one that is at the crossroads and is an intersection between so many different threads in American history and culture. So many people from so many different places all sort of coming together in this, for lack of a better word or a less cliched word, melting pot of Miami. And we zeroed in on her immediate family, her mother and father, and herself as the focus for the solo show, which became a play called Liberty City, which is focused on her family, which was a movement family, which fell apart as the movement fell apart. The play kind of tracks that story, and that was produced by New York Theater Workshop in 2007. I directed it, April starred in it, we wrote it together, and it was a wonderful experience. But it had become clear by the time that play was finished that there was so much more material here, that April comes from an extraordinarily rich, layered, complicated family going back many, many, many generations, and that there were a lot of plays in that family, and she wanted to write them. She started working on what started as a second solo show focused on her great-grandmother Celia and her boarding house that she ran in Miami in the early part of the 20th century. And April went down to the Art Center in Miami and started going through the Miami City archives to do research for that piece. And she can tell the story better than I can, but partway through that time in the archives, she realized this story was too big for a solo show to hold, that there were so many people involved in this story that all really needed to be seen on stage. I came down halfway through that residency to work with her on the piece and started working with her just as she was transforming the structure from a solo show into a really pretty epic multi-character play. And I've been involved in the process since then, and I've really seen this play grow into an incredible historical epic. I think she's working in the tradition of August Wilson here, but in a way that it's different in a lot of ways than her own, and it's focused on the women in a lot of ways, which is really interesting to me. And she has crafted this story of one single family that is really, it's character driven, it's small, it's intimate. The stakes between these people are so high on just a personal intimacy level, right? But it also taps into all of these larger cultural questions, right? The family is this location for all of these larger socio-political and historical issues that were all coming to a head at the time. And really that is my favorite kind of work. That's the work that I'm interested in more than anything else, whether it's as an actor or as a writer or as a director, is work that really gets in there at a character level and tells the real human stories of individuals struggling through relationship with each other, but in so doing taps into larger questions that affect us all, questions of history, questions of politics, questions of power. And this work really, really does that. The next step for this process is to integrate the music. April discovered, as we were workshopping this as a straight play, that music is really a central part of these characters' lives, of their daily lives, and that music needed to be a central part of the storytelling as well. So this is not a traditional musical. These are just characters for whom music is a part of their life. They sing while they go about their business. They sing as part of their day. It was part of their reality in the early 20th century in Miami, and it's part of their human reality. So April has sketched out structurally how the music will work in the play. We have an extraordinary team. We have two incredible composers on board and a wonderful musical director who are really all have such specific knowledge of the period and of the time and place from a musical perspective. And really, we just need to teach the music to the actors and get it on its feet and start looking at how the music is functioning in the storytelling. And, there's such deep feeling in this play, and there's really no other way you can suss out what's working and what's not except by feeling it, which is why we need to get in a room now. I think this play is extraordinary. I think it has the potential to be a really important play. It's telling a story that is a really central part of our country's history in a lot of ways, and it's a story that a lot of people don't know. The themes are universal. It's about family. It's about making family from scratch when the one you have maybe isn't working anymore. It's about how people survive emotionally. It's about how people make it work with nothing. And the souls that April has captured on the page are so vibrant and alive and complicated. And I really want to see this play brought to life. I'm honored to be a part of it.